Okay, so this is the data set that we are going to analyze for the purpose of this dashboard. And this data set is about the complaints received by financial organizations about their various financial offerings. So if we go on and have a look in the data set, we can first of all see that the data set has a complaint ID, then submitted via, which means the source through which the complaint was submitted. Was it referral, web, or something else? Then we have dates, submitted dates and received dates. Then we have the state, signifying the state out of which the complaint originates. Then the product, this is the financial offering that attracted the complaint. Then subproduct, issue, what was the issue that was being faced. And then we have sub issue, company, public response, company response to consumer. Then we have timely response, signifying whether the response from the company was on time or not. And then we have at last consumer disputed, which shows whether the consumer disputed or not with the company's response. So before we do anything, first let us go and explore the data at hand a little bit. So the first thing that we want to do is to count the number of records present in our data set. This is very evident from this that we are having 62517 records, but in reality we are only having 62516 records because the top row is our header. And also we can confirm it by highlighting the column, and if we come down here we can see this count, we have 62517 records. So in order to count the number of records, we are going to use the formula count A. We are going to use count A, not count, because count A can count anything, be it number or text, anything. So we will provide the range, and we will provide the range up to only A2. Press enter. See, we have 62516 records. Now we will drag it for each column, and here we can see that we are having some missing values in some of our columns. Okay, so now we have missing values or blanks, so we are going to count those as well. For that we will count blank. Again we'll give the range. Okay, we got our number of blanks in each column. Some has none, some has few. And this column, sub issue column, this has the most number of missing values. Okay, now let us go and find the value of missing percentage. So for that we are going to divide this number by this number, and we are going to freeze the last number. For that we will just press F4. Okay, we freeze this because we want to divide each of this number by 62516. We'll go to home, make it percentage, and also increase the decimal. Now for each column, see, we will also highlight this. So we have 1.75% of missing, 2.39% of missing, 3.48% of missing, 17.37% of missing. Now we know that our data set has blanks. We also know the percentage of those blanks. So we can decide on how to handle these blank values. So the best course of action to handle any missing data or data irregularity is to check with the data owner and ask them as to how they wish these irregularities or missing values to be handled. So we have something that we can do in case of missing values. So the first thing that we can do is remove the records that are having missing values. So in the case of this sub issue, we cannot remove the records because losing 17.37% of the record is like losing a huge chunk of the data that we are going to analyze. So in this case, we can just remove the column. If this column is not very useful to analysis, we can drop this column, and that is what we are going to do in this data set. See here, we have 0.01% of missing, and this is subproduct. So we can go and remove these records, because losing just 7 out of 62,509 record is not going to impact our analysis. Then in here we have 3.4%. In this case we can use imputation to handle the blank values. So if we are going to use imputation to handle the blank values, we have three options. Either we can impute with mean, median or mode, or at last we can just impute with some placeholder values like unknown or something else. So when can we use mean, median and mode? So in case of numerical data, we can use mean and median. And median we will use when our data set has outliers, because median is not susceptible to outliers, and mode we can use for textual or categorical data, because mode means which of the number is repeating the most. So we have explored our data set and also decided on how to handle the missing values. So now we are going to bring this data set to Power Query Editor in Excel, and in there we are going to work on cleaning the data. Here we are going to create a new sheet. Then we'll go to data, get data from workbook. After that we are going to navigate to the data set. This data set is being imported into Power Query Editor. We will take the raw data set and go to transform it. Now the first thing that we want to do is drop all the columns that we are not going to use, and that is sub issue. We'll come here and click on remove column. Then we have sub product. This has only 7 missing values, so we are coming to remove rows and remove blanks. Those 7 records are gone. Now let's see, does company have blanks? No, the company column does not have any blanks. This one has blank, company public response. So we will highlight this company public response, and now since we don't want to create a new column, we want to operate on this column, so we are going to go into transform tab. In the transform tab we are going to go to replace value. In the dialog box we'll type null under value to find, and under replace with we will type whatever we want to replace it with. So here I will write no response from company. Click on OK and see we got it. Okay, company response to consumer don't have any missing. Now this has missing, these two have missings. So same thing. Okay, so we cleaned our data set, we transformed our data set. Now from this data itself, we are going to create a separate date table. So for that, first of all, we are going to duplicate this. We will rename it date. Now I am going to create my date table on the basis of date submitted. So highlighting this, I will go to home and remove column, remove other columns. All other columns except this date submitted is removed. Now we'll go to remove rows and remove duplicates. Along with that, remove blanks. Now see, now we want the transformations to be added as a separate column. For that, we'll go to add column tab, then date. First thing, I will be extracting the year. Then I will be extracting the month number, then the name of month, and also day of week, and name of day. Now see, this month name, we don't want it this long, and day name long. We want them to be 3 alphabets only. So we will highlight, and now we want to operate on the same column. So we'll go to transform, then extract first character, and how many? 3. Done. First character 3. Done. So every transformation and cleaning that we wanted to perform on our data set is now completed. So we'll go to home, click on this little arrow triangle on close and load, and then close and load to, and we will create a pivot table from here and click on OK. Now the transformations are being applied on our data set and the transformed data set is being loaded. So we'll have to wait. Okay, so all our data is loaded. Before doing anything else, we'll go to Power Pivot, Manage, then Diagram View, and in here we can create the data model, and we will drag date submitted from date table to date submitted on the raw data, and this has created a one-to-many relationship. Now let us go and check if this is working or not. So the first thing, we are going to bring year and complaint ID, and then we will come here and summarize it by count. So we can see that our date table is successfully filtering our data from the data table. So remove everything. This was only to check. Now we want to create few measures. So first of all, we are going to create measure. For that, we have to come to Power Pivot, and inside here we will come to measures, and then we can create our measures. Let us now go and create all the measures that we are going to use as KPIs in our dashboard, and I am going to utilize DAX in order to create all those measures. So to achieve that, we have to go to Power Pivot, then measure and new measure. I want to keep all my measures in the date table, so I have kept it selected in the table's name. And then we have measure name. Here we will write a descriptive name for the measure. The first measure that I am going to create is total complaints, and for this we are going to use a count A of our raw data table, and we want to count the complaints ID. Let us check the formula. There is no error. We want it to be in number format, whole number, and we want to use 1000 separators. Okay, see this, our first measure is created. Again we will create a new measure. This will be called total companies, and this will be a distinct count of raw data company column. Again we'll repeat all these steps. Okay, now we want to create a measure that will count all the rows in the company response to consumer column that are in progress. So we will write a new measure. We will name the measure as in progress, and for this we are going to use a count X with filter. And see, this takes a table dot filter expression. So our table is raw data and the filter expression is raw data company response to consumer is equal to in progress. And there are two things that we need to keep in mind. First, we have to write it inside double quotes, and also we have to write the same thing as it is present in the data set. If I write a capital P here, it's not gonna work. Now the count has got its table already. It needs a expression, and the expression is again raw data consumer response to customer. Close it, check formula, no errors, number, whole number. Okay, so 1494 is the total number of instances where the complaint is still in progress. This one is done. Now let us go and check what we want. Timely response and consumer disputed. So we can also create a measure from here. Just right click, add measure, and everything is same. And this will be timely response. This will also be same, count X with filter. So I am going to create it quickly. Timely response is equal to yes and this will be number. Okay, now we have created these measures, but these three numbers we want them in percentage of total. So that too will be done with creating new measures. So let's go to Power Pivot, new measure. The first one will be called in progress percent, and the formula will be in progress divided by total complaints. This will be a percentage, and let's just keep one decimal point. Click on OK. Similarly, we are going to create timely response and consumer dispute. Okay, so we have created all the measures that will be used as KPIs, and one more thing that we need to do is to go to Power Pivot, manage, and then go to date table, and in date table we are going to highlight the month column, come to sort by column, and month name we want to sort by month number, and this day name we want to sort it by day of week. This is done. Let us close it. Now, while our cursor is on this pivot table, we'll go to analyze and we'll name it measures. Now we'll go to insert and insert a pivot table, and this pivot table, first of all, let us select year and month, then we'll bring in complaint ID, and this is showing a sum, so we'll go to summarize by count. Let us remove the month from here. Okay, so we have got it. And in this we are going to bring in our month name and remove the years. Okay, now copy this pivot table again and pay attention that I am pasting the pivot tables one beside the other and not below. This is being done because in case in future if this pivot table expands, it is not going to interfere with other. We are going to bring in day name. See, on Sunday we have 3000 and on Saturday we have 4600 complaints, and on Monday to Friday we have above 9000 complaints. So for that we are going to analyze, we will create a donut chart or a pie chart that will show us the number of complaints on weekend and weekdays. For that we need to expand our data column, date column. So we'll come to data, queries and connection, and double click on date column to enter the Power Query editor. Okay, see, I want to add a column, and in that column I want to display weekend if it is Sunday, and Saturday, and weekdays for rest of the days. So I will add a conditional column. The name will be week type. If day name equals sat, we'll call it weekend. We'll call it weekend as well, and for every other day it will be weekday. Okay, now see, we got it. Come to home, close and load. We'll have to wait till this data is loading. Now see, in date table we have week type also. So we'll copy it, paste it, and we will bring week type and see. We'll come here, rename these pivot tables jwise Okay, so we created this much. So this was all related to date. Now let us bring in submitted via, and this instead of count of we can bring total complaints, and if we bring complaint ID and then summarize it by count, we get the same answer. So again we are going to adjust our data a little bit, because if we create any kind of chart, be it bar chart or pie chart or anything, see this 2, it is just going to be invisible in front of some numbers like this, so we are going to group it together. Okay, so we'll go to data again, queries and connection, and raw data. In this pivot table we will create state wise values, we'll sort it by largest to smallest, and we will just level filter, we'll value filter top 10. So these are the top 10 companies according to complaints they received. We'll go to sheet 1 and then enter a new pivot table. In this pivot table we will bring in product, total complaints, subproduct, value filter, greater than or equal to 20. And one more pivot table we will create, and this time it will be issue. Same thing, greater than or equal to 20. Okay. So we have created all our pivot table. Now we are going to create related charts. We will go to insert, so we got our first chart. this one will go to analyze, pivot chart, pie chart, donut chart. This chart is weekdays versus weekends. This one we will create a column chart. Okay, so this yearly we will create a line chart out of it. Okay, so we have created all our required visualizations. Now on this sheet, here we will be performing Pareto analysis of these values. Okay, so in order to perform our Pareto analysis, we are going to bring the same total complaints twice, and this value we are going to change how this is presented. And this will be percentage running total. Okay, same thing we are going to perform for each one of these pivot tables. And here we are going to insert one more pivot table, and in this pivot table we are going to bring in company, Now we will start to insert the required charts. Combo chart. We'll click on OK. So see, this is created. Hide all the field buttons. And the legend, I'm going to bring it to top. And this format chart area. Format access, and instead of 1.2 we'll make it 1. So since this chart is becoming very long and these all values are just negligible, we are going to come here, then we are going to go to value filter, and we are going to only keep values that are greater than or equal to 200. Okay. So now this is much more discernible. Yeah. Then we are going to come into this. Here also we are going to value filter greater than or equal to 100. And now we'll do the same thing we did for the last chart. Okay. And the last one. Okay, so now all our visualizations are done, and now we are going to create our dashboard. So for that we will come in here and come to this triangle and click on it. Then we'll go to home and fill in some color. Okay. And now we'll come to view. We don't want heading, no grid line, and also no formula bar. So let us go to our sheet 2 and first bring this chart. we will copy or cut it from here and paste it. We will name it dashboard. Okay, so we'll go here and we'll put on the legend, and we'll put the legend at the bottom. Right click, format plot area, fill, no fill, border, yeah, little bit. Okay, so we are going to go to view and show our grid lines. And headings, and we are going to change the background color to this. Go to view and remove heading and grid lines. Right click, format chart area, borders, no line. Okay, then we are going to go into sheet 1 and then bring it this chart. Give this chart a title, state wise distribution of complaints. Or instead of this chart, let us bring the company's chart. Okay, now we are going and bring these numbers that will be represented as our KPIs. So for that, we'll come to dashboard sheet, go to insert, and then we will insert a text box. See that I have activated the formula bar for now. So in the formula bar I am going to type equal to, then go to sheet 2 and then click on this cell and press enter. This number came in here. Okay, this one is done. Now we are going to copy and create 4 more of this. Now we will select by pressing Ctrl all of these, go to format, then in align we are going to align top, and then we are going to align bottom. Okay, we will bring it here, and this one here. And this time we are going to distribute horizontally and also align the top. Okay, this is done. Now for this we are going to bring this number. For this it will be timely response percentage, then in progress, and at last it will be consumer disputed. We'll come here, go to home, format painter, home, format painter, okay. So all our KPIs are now being displayed. Again we are going to copy here. We will write total complaints received. This will be 10. And this is total companies, home, format painter, we'll go to format, shape fill, no color, and shape outline, no color. Okay, so this is complete. I start one more page, and this we will call dashboard. Dashboard 1, same thing. We will insert a line, and this line format we are going to increase its weight. Okay, this is done. Now we will insert few more boxes. Or better, we can insert now. Let us go and insert text box. Now when we click on this dashboard one, we are going to get into this sheet. Let us check. Yes, this is happening. We copied, and then we are going to paste the 3. Okay, this one we will delete, and instead we will copy this one. This home one will become simple, no bold. The color will become and the format shape fill, there will be no fill, and outline, there will be no outline. And this shape outline, and the text inside will become white and bold, white. The text box will have no border, and the shape will have fill. This is just to show as to on which dashboard we are, or which page we are currently on. Then similarly I will insert a line. This line will go up, okay, and everything will be below. So let's go to sheet 2, and first of all we are going to bring these 3. Okay. Now this we are going to shrink it. This will shift here. Or we can do it like this. Yeah, and Okay, this is done. Now this weekend versus weekdays. And below that we are going to put a title which will say what that is. Now we will come to home. Right click, link, and we are going to go to dashboard. Okay, so we are in this page and we want to go back to home. We will just click here, and if we are in home and we want to go to dashboard 1, we will click here. Do we need to create another dashboard? Let me see. I think not. What is this? Company wise complaint, and then we want this one. And this we will delete. And on this we will remove this one. Bring in this and this. Okay, so I am not going to show all the tweaking of charts. This will be done in the background, and we will meet once the layout of dashboard is finalized. Okay, so this is the layout of the dashboard that I have came up with, and it has this map view of all the complaints, and then we have a Pareto distribution of the number of complaints received by the common issues, and then we have this pie chart or donut chart that represent the media through which the complaint were raised, and then we have navigation buttons. If I go to this dashboard and click on it, I will come to this second page. In this second page we have various charts. Firstly, we have yearly complaint trend, and this red dotted line is the trend line, and this clearly shows us that this is a upwards trend. Then we have monthly complaint, and then we have day wise complaint, and also we have a breakdown of all the complaints received on weekdays and weekends. And at last we have this Pareto distribution of banks by total number of complaints received, and this shows that only some 5 to 6 bank result in 80% of the complaint received. So if you want a better satisfaction, better steer clear of these 6 to 7 banks, and then you have a 80% less chance of having some service issues or some complaints. But this is not complete yet. I will insert some slicers in here. Okay, so in order to insert those slicer, I will come to this page, and this pivot chart I will copy and then I will paste. Okay, so we will come to analyze, insert slicer, and one slicer I will insert on years, and the next I will insert on state, and click on OK. Okay, now come to this slicer, right click, and then we will go to slicer setting, and this display header, we don't want display header, and then we'll go to options, and in option I am going to make this column 7. Okay, now again we'll go to option, and I will come here, and I have created a custom styling. I will select that. Now I will copy this slicer from here, go to home tab, not on the home tab, on this dashboard, and I will paste it here, and then okay, I will pick this slicer and put it here. Let's go to option and right click on this slicer, and we will modify it a little bit. We'll go to format, everything is fine, selected item, and selected item we are going to highlight with this color. A little more of the tweak is needed. Right click, slicer setting, we want the headers but nothing to be written there. Okay, so this is now working. Now we will have to add connection. So for that we are going to right click on it, then go to report connection, and see this is first thing. We are going to add it on week type, then week type, then monthly complaints, then day wise complaints. Okay, now suppose I want to see on 2022. See, these charts will update. So this is done. Now we will go to the second slicer, come to option, make 2 columns,